Off the beaded path, your beading starts here. Shop it off the beaded path bead store.
Are you ready to have some fun doing a new 3D shape? My name is Kelly Dell with Off the Beaded Path Beadstore.com, and today we are taking a look at the 3D triangle. Now, just my opinion, but the 3D triangle is so much easier to learn now that you know how to make the 3D square. We're going to be doing a lot of the same techniques, but we are going to do the basic triangle today, and then on Thursday, I'm going to be back with you for part 2, where I'm going to show you how to add crystals to the triangle, how to connect a small triangle to your large triangle, and how to make this into a pendant or a pair of earrings. So I think you're going to really enjoy this. So let's go ahead and take a look at what you're going to need to get started. So today, I'm going to be showing you how to make the just basic 2-color triangle like you see here. This one here in the middle is what we're going to be doing, and then on Thursday, we're going to be doing the larger triangle. Now, one of the things I love when I make these triangles is to use mixes. They give this such a fun look, but I highly suggest that you do one without the mixes first to learn it, and then go on to the mixes. But now, if you've made this square, you think you've got this, a mix does wonderfully. This one here is our fall leaves mix that we came out with last year. This is a brand new mix that we released on Friday of this past week on the website. This is just fall, just a fall mix. And then this is the one I'm going to be showing you how to do today. So you need your A and your B as normal. My A is going to be the corner beads here, and everywhere you see those V shapes. So I'm going to have that. And then I have my B, which is going to be that turquoise where you're going to see the most of it. So I have a needle threaded with 2 yards of thread. And to get started, I have on 1A and 13B 3 times. So in our small triangle here, when you get ready to work on it, anything that you have here that you want to make bigger for our sides, you will make it bigger in an odd count number. Your corners are still going to be exactly the same, but you will add more beads in an odd number here on our sides. So to do the exact one today, which is this one here, it's going to be 1A and 13B 3 times. Once you have that, you're going to bring the beads down, and I leave about a 4 to 6 inch tail. And then I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to pass through 1A and 13B so that I am coming out of an A right before a B. And then I'm going to pull this down. And as I work this first couple of beads, I'm just going to hold on to this tail thread. If you feel like you need a stop bead, go ahead and put a stop bead. But now let me zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to show you how we are going to make this into our triangle. To get started, I'm going to thread on 2 A's. I'm going to skip an A and pass through a B. Now it is pick up a B, skip a B, and pass through 1 B, just basic peyote. Pick up a B, skip a B, pass through a B. And when you do that, you want your beads to sit on top of each other just like this. So I'm going to continue to work down to this next corner here. And this is the thing I love about doing a single color is you don't have to worry about anything. You just pick up your beads and keep going. Same thing with a mix. The mixes are great because you just pick up a bead and keep going. You don't have to worry about anything. So now that you're at that corner, then you pick up your 2A. You skip the A and you go through the B. So I'm going to continue that twice more. Once you're ready to add the last B for the round, you pick up that B, you skip a B, and you go through a B. So here in this corner, if you want to, you can go ahead and finish the row and then step up by coming through that first A that we added in the round. So again, if I do this individually, I pick up a bead, skip a bead, and go through a bead like I normally would. And then I step up by coming through that first A in the round so that it will look just like this. For now, just hang on to your thread or your tail thread. We'll get rid of that on this next round. So now we're going to pick up 2 of our A, go through the very next A, and then we'll start to pick up our B's and pass through a B. And we're doing this all the way down the side. So when I get down here to the corner and I pick up a B, I pass through that first A in that set of 2. And I'm going to do this twice more. At the end of the round, when you come back to the beginning, you've got to pick up 1 B. Now, when you pick up this 1 B, if we skip a bead and go through a bead, we'll be going through this one here. This one is the first A that we added in our sets of 2 on the previous round because this finishes up the row. So we go through that bead. Now we have to do our step up, and our step up is going to come right here, and we just pass through that first A that we added in this round. Now we are going to do 2 more rounds exactly like, no, 1 more round exactly like what we just did. Not 2, 1. So we pick up 2A and put that in, and then we put our B's in. So same thing when you get down here to the bottom and we put in that last B bead, you'll notice that we'll be going through an A here at the bottom in each corner. So it's go through A, pick up B, go through the next B sticking up, all the way down on the side. And then once we get here in the corner, it's pick up our A and go through the B. So now we've got to do this twice more. So once you've come around, then you will take your last B bead for the row. And to finish out, when we skip our bead and go through a bead, that's going to put us in right here. And then we're going to do that step up. So we're going to be going through 2 of our A's at the same time. You can go through 1 like I did, or you can go through both of them at the same time. It's completely up to you. Now, if you want to, go ahead and pass the needle, put a needle onto this tail thread and get rid of this short thread. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my last row for the side, and then I will do this. So you do it whenever it's getting in your way and you are ready to just be finished with it. But we're going to work 1 more row. But the difference in this row is we are going to pick up 1 A instead of 2 in every corner. So 1 A and go through the next A. That's going to give us a point. And then we will just peyote down to the next side with our B's. And when we get to each corner, again, 1 A. When you're ready to add the last B for the row, we're going to finish out just like we normally would. So when we do our little skip 1 to go through 1, it's going to put us going through this A here. So technically now we are done with the front side. So we need to stitch to the center so that we can add the taco. so that we will have our 3-dimensional piece. So to do this, I'm going to go through that top A, and then I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to pass down through the A's in that column, and then through my A, my single A in a corner. I always like to start in a corner because that way I always know kind of in the vicinity of where I'm going to be doing my step up. So it makes life a little bit easier. So just like when we did our square, when we do the triangle and we put in this first row, we are not going to add any A beads, only our B beads. So I'm going to pick up a B. I'm coming out of this A and I'm going to pass through the bead that's sticking up. And I'm going to continue to work down the row, and you'll have to be careful because like you've seen there, your thread will want to get caught around beads already in place. And you see how they're kind of sticking up, and that's what we want them to do. So I'm going to continue to work down this side. And when I come to the corner, which I am right there, I pick up my B, I go through the A, and straighten it up there. Now, I pick up a B, and I go through a B. And I'm just going to keep working this around until I get back here to where I started. When you're back to where you started, you're going to pick up your last B for the row, and you're going to go through the single A that you started with. I'm going to go through and do my step up through this B right next to that A. Now we're going to work our B's. And again, be careful because your thread's going to want to get caught on other beads and little points and little corners. So just be careful there. But we're going to work down the row. And when we get down here to a corner, then we are going to put in 2 of our A beads. So I've got my row of B's there. Now I'm going to grab my A's, 2 of them, and I'm going to come through the next B that's sticking up. So I'm mimicking what I did on the first side. So I'm just going to continue to do that and putting in my 2 A's in each corner and stitching with my B's. Now, when you finish the last corner, meaning we're getting ready to put in those last 2 corner A beads, we put that in, and if I hold it to the side like this, you can kind of see here, I have a lower, let me flip it this way. I have a lower A and I have an upper A. So we have to finish the row by going through this lower A first. Then we're going to step up by going through the upper A. So you can actually do this in one pass through, but you're going to be going through those 2 beads. Now, you'll just continue with your B's, peyoteing down to the corner. And when you get to the corner and you put in the last B bead here, you're going to be going through that first A of that set of 2 A's. Now we put on 2A and pass through the next A. And I'm going to do this twice more. And when I get right back over here, I'll show you that step up. When you come around to the corner where you started, you'll see here I've put in my 2 A's. And now we've got to pick up a B And you'll see we have, if we do our normal skip and go through, this will be the bead we skip and this will be the bead we go through. This will finish out the row. So then to step up, we'll be going through these 2 beads. So that way I can do it in one pass through and it finishes the row and it does the step up. And you'll notice, just like in our square, every time we do our step up, it moves over 1 bead. On side 1, our step up is always here in the corner the way we put it together, but because of the fact we're in that corner and we're moving up through the corner. But when you get ready to do this side, each one is going to move over 1. So we're going to work 1 more row and doing this step up just as we did this previous row. So once you're done with that second side, you'll know you're done when you have 3 rows of A's in each corner. Then you're ready to zip it up. So to zip it up from the bead that I'm coming out of here on this left-hand side, I'm going to come to the next bead that's sticking up there on the right, the left, the right, the left, and you'll notice how it's starting to pull together, and you're just going to continue going through the right and the left and being careful not to get your thread caught there. Until we get to this corner. Now, when you get to the corner, the next bead I go through on the left is going to be the first bead of a set of 2 A's. Then you'll take and you're going to go through the center bead there on the right. And then we're back to the second bead of our set of 2 A's on the left. And you're just going to continue to zip your piece up, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you have it all zipped up. So once you have your 3D triangle completely zipped up, then you're ready to set this aside if you're going to do the project for Thursday. Now, if you're going to do that, you'll want to go ahead and pass the needle through to exit the A bead in any one of the corners. Because if you look here, this is where we are going to be attaching our piece. Is going to be in that corner. So that's why we want it to be there. Now, you know me, I love a good earring. So mine are going to be earrings. So if you are going to make these into earrings, or even if you want to do a pendant, you'll just do the 1 triangle. If you want earrings, you're going to make 2 triangles exactly like this. I know I'm going to get the question, so I will go ahead and show you the small triangle. There is going to be less than 1 inch. The finished triangle there is about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. So that is going to tell you about how wide and how long your earring is going to be. So from top to bottom there, you are looking at just over 1.5 inches. So that is how big they're going to be. So you'll just do one of the 2, either make 2 more or make 1 more for a pendant. So guys, I hope you enjoyed learning how to make the basic 3D square. Now 3D square. Lord help me, y'all. 3D triangle. Now make sure you come back on Thursday where we're going to do the second part of the project where we learn how to add the crystals, how to make it bigger, the whole 9 yards. Now I will have kits available on my website for the color scheme that you're going to see me do in the video, which is this beautiful turquoise color. There's going to be a kit with the new fall mix that we've done. And there's going to be a kit for this fall leaves. Now, there may be more other color kits in the future, but for now, those 3 are going to be the ones that will be available. So make sure to go to Off the Beaded Path beadstore.com to get this step-by-step pattern along with a kit if you want to get a kit. And I'll hope you come back on Thursday to see how we finish out our project.